Hello and welcome to a training video brought to you by Fostering LLC, Salesforce Consulting Partner. In this video, we're going to talk about how to do a basic mail merge out of Salesforce without using any apps, just using the functionality of Salesforce along with Microsoft Excel and Word. So first step is you're going to want to go to reports and create a report that makes the most sense for you for your data that you want to pull out. So we'll just click create a new accounts report. So we're just going to pull the businesses that we've done business with. We're not going to put any filter criteria, but we just want to get all the addresses and um, all the businesses that are related to us. So I'm just going here, going to make a simple report. If you need more help on reporting, I believe we have a couple of helpful videos on there as well. So typically for businesses, you'll pull the billing address information. So you can either double click or pull it right in. So let's do billing street. You'll notice billing street does look like it concatenates some information. You don't want the concatenated information or the information that's all together. So let's remove that column. I'm going to remove some of these other ones that we're not going to need for a mail merge. And just very simple. So address line 1, address line 2 to see if there's anything in there. Let's do city. Looks like we have state already. And we'll pull zip code as well. Hopefully that makes sense. Looks like this address line 2 is a little um, put together in a different manner. So what I'm going to do is just remove that column and to get a good preview of the results. So I'll just go ahead and save this report, mailing report, save and run this and get a nice little preview of what I want to go ahead and export. Say this is very small. This is just our test environment perception of data, but if you've seen some zip codes that weren't filled out or states, things of that nature, you definitely want to go and clean that up before you do this process. So step 2, after you get this report all set up and ready to go, what you're going to do is either hit printable view or export details. Export details is a little cleaner, and we're just going to export it to Excel. So as you can see that downloaded here, we'll open up Excel and get a preview of what this looks like. As you can see, we have our headers um, all set up. Here you could maybe take a look at some of the ones you don't want to send to, like we don't need to go to Singapore or United Kingdom. So I'll go ahead and just delete those out, as well as Paris. We're just going to keep it local. And obviously I would not recommend exporting this without zip codes, but obviously this is just a test, so you can understand the concept. One thing you will want to do is delete the confidential information that Salesforce puts on here, the footer. So either you can just hit the delete button and go ahead and pull that out. So your next step is you're going to want to save this Excel document somewhere where you're going to know where to find it for our next step. So I'm just going to go to File, Save As. Let's pull this over here. For this example, I'm just going to put it on my desktop. Let's name it mailing, and I'll just put the date here. And we want to save it as an Excel workbook. By default, Salesforce wants to save it as a web page. That's not going to work for your mail merge, so make sure you save it as an Excel workbook. We'll hit save. And then the next step, what you're going to do is open up Microsoft Word. So whether or not you have a letter or a mailing or whatever you're doing, you're going to be doing that in Microsoft Word. So matters what version of Word you have, obviously. But if you click on mailings here, and Word really has a really nice wizard that you can walk through. I usually recommend people just clicking this Start Mail Merge wizard. This might be in under the Tools section or maybe a different section in your version of Word, but for us it's right here. So what we're going to do is a letter, but you can do the exact same for either labels, envelopes. Those are probably the most common: envelopes, labels, or letters. So what I would recommend doing though is doing the step-by-step mail word wizard, especially if this is your first time. So click the step-by-step wizard. It's going to ask us again. Get the sidebar over here. Like I said, we're going to do letters just for this example, but it's going to be the same process whether you do envelopes or labels. I believe we'll even have like Avery type templates in here as well. So we're going to use a current document. sorry, I went ahead there. So step 1 of 6, we're going to start the document. We're going to use the current one. We're next going to select our recipients. This is the step where we're going to go and find that Excel document that we saved. So again, I went to the desktop. There's my mailing list there. I'm going to go ahead and open that. It's going to ask to select a table just in case you have multiple sheets. Yes, your first row does have column headers. Click OK. Next, it's going to give us a preview of the information that we're going to merge into. So account name, billing address, billing street, billing state, all the above. So this looks pretty clean. If you wanted to unselect a few of these, you can go ahead and do this. Don't worry about the data source column, but pretty straightforward. We're going to hit OK. Next, we're going to want to write our letter. So after you've selected your data source, we're going to want to write our letter. So this is where it's just a free written letter. Maybe I want to insert a header image. Let's throw Fostering LLC on here. I'm just gonna, throw a quick logo. Hello. All right, let's go ahead and put some merge information, typically in a business type letter. To do merge information, to merge those columns, what you're going to do in the write your letter section here is click on this more items. I always find that the easiest way to do it. And we're going to want to insert all this information. So either you can double click or just click insert, insert, insert. So after you insert them in, you're going to want to format them. So one thing that's pretty crucial is making sure that you don't take this formatting off. So when they select gray, you can always do an extra space or change the font, or but you want to organize this in a way that's going to make sense for your mail merge. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Maybe let's take a little bit of the paragraph spacing out of here, clean it up. Let's put it to the font we like and make it a little bigger. Thank you for your business and Merry Christmas. Obviously, this is just a demo, and I always have to remember how to spell right on the demos. Those are always hard to do. So I have majority of it formatted. The next part, we're actually going to be able to see a preview. But what this is going to allow you to do based on how many rows of data you have is going to be able to merge these dynamically and complete your mail merge. So next step here is we're going to preview our letters. So as you can see that our information was merged in there. Pretty nice actually. And we're going to be able to click to view the different recipients up here, 2, 3. So you can see a couple of those that we didn't have zip codes on. But hopefully that'll make sense. Next, we're going to complete our merge, and we're just going to go ahead and hit print. So either can print all or a series of records, whether you put letterhead in. Same thing for envelopes, mailings. Really pretty simple. Pick your printer, hit OK. Obviously, I don't need to print this off, but that should be the completion of your mail merge. And if you ever need to edit any individual letters, any one-offs, we can click, the back step says edit individual letters, and it'll actually break out each one of your letters individually for you. So if you had to just edit, University of Arizona here, there's a Bob there, whatever it might be. You can edit those individually as well. So hopefully this makes sense, and a quick synopsis of doing that within Salesforce. Really pretty simple. I would ask that if you have any questions in regards to going back to Salesforce and then logging this information, one of the most common ways is adding people to a campaign. So if we went to this mailing report, we can actually add this list to a campaign. We don't have this button in our Salesforce right now, but you can add the button, add to a campaign. We'll have to be individuals to a campaign. Otherwise, there are some great apps out there called like Mass Actions, where you could actually mass add like a mailing action or task to all of these that you just did by creating a list view. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact Fostering LLC. Obviously, we're always here to help. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Hopefully, this helps your process. And if you're doing any sort of letters coming up